So I do cordially invite you upon a journey of logical discovery. Let us board the train of reason. Put plainly, let us work through my deductions together. The Great Deduction. The game is afoot. Topic 1. Old man's identity. So, the dubious-looking Russian man, Mr. Ryunosuke, obviously, what catches the eye in the first place is the enormous pair of shears in your hand. Now we ask ourselves, what could you possibly want with such an implement? The answer, of course, is staring us in the face. You're on the verge of using the shears to cut away that copious beard you sport. Now, moving on. The question then begs is this: how would you desire to rid yourself of this magnificent beard, Mr. Ryunosuke? Once again, the answer is plain. We have clear evidence to shed light on the matter. Regard, if you will, this morning's newspaper, in particular, the fascinating front-page article. Which it would appear you have read also, Mr. Ryunosuke. I'm sure it needs no further clarification. The evidence that reveals your true identity is the article about the revolutionary. In translation, the headline reads, Revolutionary villain, Bolshevik, flees Russia via Shanghai. As you cannot fail to observe, the subject of the article possesses an extreme copious beard. Having noted the article yourself, you decided to remove your incriminating facial hair before it gave you away. In short, your true identity is beyond a doubt. You are a fearsome Russian revolutionary himself, the villain Bolshevik. Not that I've heard of you myself, you understand. A revolutionary on the run. Conclusion. Topic 2, wrongdoing. Now, as for my second conclusion. You are, at the very moment, on the brink of committing a most grievous crime. And the proof of this crime? Over there. Oh yes, Mr. Ryunosuke. Taken unawares, people have propensity to let their eyes stray, you see. And I assure you, you speak much more eloquently and honestly than the mouth. The answer we seek lies where the furtive glance falls. The proof of your crime sits below our very eyes. Yes, that traveling case. It is time, I think, that the case be opened, its contents laid bare. No, I refuse. What could you possibly be concealing inside, we ask? By my estimation. A young lady, perhaps, one slight enough to fit therein. Oh, don't be absurd. And what, pray, would be the identity of this young lady in the traveling case? Dear me. We are not well suited to a life of crime, are we? Your careless coup d'oeil betrays you. Doyle. Once again, we need to only follow your furtive glance to find the answer. Yes, the reason you refuse to open your traveling case can equally be found in the pages of this newspaper. For there is another, more stimulating article. If we turn from fleeing revolutionary to the back page. Renowned prima ballerina of the Bolshevik ballet disappears from Shanghai. Such a headline could lead us to but one conclusion. The crime is that of abduction. And according to the article, the young lady's name is Nikolina Pavlova. Kidnapping of a young ballerina. Thus concludes Herlock's Great Deduction of a Russian Enigma, Alaminsky. I don't know, Holmes. I think you're off. Yeah? Susudo-san, this wasn't one of the great deductions I've been hearing about, was it? Well, the stories are full of Mr. Sho's brilliant deductions, you know? But that did seem a little different somehow. Excuse me, Mr. Sholmes, could you come over here a moment? Pray, what can I do for you? It's about your deductions, would you mind? Not at all, go on. Well, to start with, there's the newspaper article. I think we had the same discussion before, but these two men look nothing like each other. Ah, yes, I recall our discussion earlier, and at the time I believe I told you the man is a revolutionary. Will be able to revolutionize his own appearance. In fairness to Mr. Sholmes, Mr. Roylott does look more like this man than you do. That's not the point. And another thing, that part about him abducting the ballerina? Indeed, a truly startling revelation. At first glance, the case would appear too small to accommodate a young woman. Not at first glance, it is too small, clearly. I'll be lucky to find a 5-year-old child in that case, even if you pushed really hard. I don't suppose the missing ballerina is a 5-year-old child, is she? You mean you don't know? No, the young lady is 15. No. How could I? Well, if she's 15, then 10 years worth of her must be broken out of the case. Some years ago, I've read something pertinent, I believe. A troop of men consuming vinegar daily in order to promote a certain lithiness in their body. Vinegar? For such a sour bunch, it would be simplicity itself to contort oneself in the confines of the small case. Oh dear, you might be thinking of contortionists in the circus, Mr. Sholmes. This whole thing is turning into a circus. Mr. Naruhodo, something's occurred to me about Mr. Sholmes' deduction just now. I think his power of observation are, well, magical. His eyes cut to the heart of a matter almost instantly. It's just where he directs his attention and his logic that seems a little off. Your idea of a little may be a little off itself, Miss Suzuto. It's just one or two key words in his deduction that seem to let him down. So I was wondering if we might perhaps tactfully switch them for alternatives. What do you think? Switch some key words in his deduction? Yes, but very tactfully. I feel for sure we can do that. Well, like the true genius of Mr. Sholmes' great deduction. Precisely the thought that was going through my own mind. This man is a lot of work. At times, I wonder how anyone can put up with me. It's not that funny. And you, my good fellow. Sorry? Take a moment to look at your wrists. My wrists? Where are your handcuffs? Huh? How did... I felt that may hinder your ability to follow me in our dance of deduction. I don't believe it. Mr. Sholmes, you are a marvel. I'm secretly a game developer, Suzuto. Don't worry. I'm merely a sentient AI inside of the machine. And don't worry, I shall restore the shackles to your wrists when we are finished. I'm not worried. In fact, I'd rather stay like this. So, let us begin. Herlock Sholmes is proud to present his logic and reasoning spectacular. Course correction. Hold it, Mr. Sholmes. Topic 1, old man's identity. Do I really have to reread this? Is the enormous pair of shears in your hand? Yes? I want to read it in a regular voice. Now ask yourself, what could you possibly want with such an implement? The answer, of course, is staring right us in the face. You were on the verge of using the shears to cut away the copious beard you sport. I'm not sure. Would you really use shears like that to cut off a beard? I Doubt that's something I'd ever have to worry about. It doesn't quite sit right with me, though. It doesn't seem to be sitting right with Mr. Roylott either. Which means, I suppose, that the deduction is wrong. Let's try to switch a key word here, Naruhodo-san, and see if it helps matters. Alright, but how? I think we should start by taking a long, hard look at Mr. Roylott. What if it's really his beard that he intended to use those shears on? Exactly. If we do manage to find something that seems to fit the sense of Mr. Shome's deduction better, then what? Then I'll leave the rest in your capable hands, Naruhodo-san. Why am I the one to do something about this? Well, anyway, let's see if there's anything we can even use to switch around in the last sense. What exactly was Mr. Roylott really going to use the enormous shears for?
Yes!
Yes! I know the answer, so I'm just gonna go for it. You were on the verge of using the shears to cut away the golden locks you sport. Indeed, you have identified the precise detail I was intending to expose. Such lush golden hair certainly does not befit an old man. You're not a man at all. You're a woman, and judging from the length and sheen of your hair, one still very much in her youth. Oh no. If only I had managed to cut off my hair, no one would have suspected. The question that begged is this: why would you desire to rid yourself of these magnificent locks? Once again, the answer is plain. You have clear evidence to shed light on the matter. Is there no need of further clarification? The evidence that reveals your true identity is the article about the revolutionary. Well, that was a shock. No idea the old man was really a young woman in disguise, did you? What? Why are you staring at me like that? Yes, I was so surprised, Naruhodo-san. You're enjoying this, aren't you? Sorry? You look like you're in your element as you dance around the room deducting the facts with Mr. Shomes. I'm just doing what we agreed. I'm not having fun or anything. This is strictly business, no strictly Yes, I understand. Say no more. Well, anyways, let's focus on this next part of Mr. Shomes' deduction, shall we? The evidence that he picked up doesn't quite fit the facts all now. No, that's true, given that Mr. Roylott is actually a woman. Exactly. He, or rather she, can't possibly be this merciless revolutionary. I suppose it's because the deduction as a whole has taken a different direction now. Yes. Let's switch the evidence for something else, something that fits the facts as we now understand them. For some reason, this woman needed to try to hide her true identity. I feel as though I've either read or heard about a young woman in a situation like that recently. Alright, I'll do my best. Oh, right there.
Yes!
The evidence that reveals your true identity is, of course, the article about the ballerina. That's right, you've hit the nail on the head. Renowned promo ballerina Notre Ballet disappears from Shanghai. It would appear we are finally able to address you by your true name. Yes, because your true identity is that of Novovich's ballet prima ballerina. Miss Nikolina Pavlova. Ah! Wow, she's just as cute as I remember it. You're right. My real name is Nina. I mean, Nikolina Pavlova. But please, I beg you, don't tell anyone. A ballerina on the run. Solved! Topic 2, wrongdoing. Kidnapping of a young ballerina. Therefore, it's all wrong. Nah, you kidnapped the revolutionary. No. And my second conclusion. You are at this very moment on the brink of committing the most grievous crime. The proof of this crime over there. Excuse me. Oh, yes, Miss Pavlova. Thinking unawareness, people are first up to let their eyes straight, blah, 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 blah. I assure you, the eyes speak so much more eloquently and honestly than the mouth. The answer we seek lies where the furtive glance falls. The proof of your crime sits before our very eyes. Yes, the traveling case. Wrong. The woman is the ballerina, and she's right in front of our eyes. So clear she can't be inside that traveling case as well. No, that's right. Seems she wasn't abducted at all. Excuse me. In which case, what is the crime this young woman is apparently committing? Ha. Can't see anything. I'm gonna have to step in and fix the great detective's mistake again. You seem to look pleased, Naruhodo-san. Do you like the idea of another chance to dance around with Mr. Sholmes? Stop it. Anyway, there must be something else here that shows what this woman is up to.
Yes!
The proof of your crime is surely this tiara. Ah. I believe this tiara is worn on stage by dancers in the Northern Ridge Ballet, is it not? Indeed, it would appear to be identical to the tiara pictured here in the newspaper article. And if the reporting is to be believed, it is an item worth 20,000 rubles. In summary, what happened to my voice? The crime you have committed is theft. Oh no. Yes, you left your ballet troupe, unlawfully taking their precious tiara with you. Ah! My throat, oh god. We're going off the hinges now. I have no one, no family, no friends. I'm all alone, and I need money. But I did not steal the tiara. It was a present from, had you say, an earl? The Prussia? It belongs to me. This girl is only 15 years old, and she's a runaway all by herself. She must have been extremely lonely. Oh, right, I will tell you everything. There's no point to hiding it now. Come, let's not be hasty. What? There remains one unsolved mystery about you. Mystery? What do you mean? You have staunchly refused to open this traveling case of yours in our presence. It is reasonable to conclude, therefore, that this exists for some reasons why you wish to remain closed. Is this not so, Miss Pavlova? My dear girl, there's no sense in playing games with me. Nothing escapes my attention. Indeed, I have a very good idea of the contents of your case even before I've even laid my eyes on them. Dear me! We are not well suited to be a life of crime, are we? You were careless, cooped out, Once again, we need only follow your fugitive plans to find the answer. What? Yes, the reason why you refused to open your case is written in the books on the shelf. He completely changed the tact with his deduction now. I think Mr. Sholmes is adapting his logic to the changing circumstances, don't you? Maybe, but why has he suddenly brought the bookshelf into all this? Just a wild guess, surely. Oh, do you think so? Well, it doesn't seem likely that the reason why this young woman doesn't want to open her case would have been written in a book that doesn't even belong to her. Yes, that's true, but still, Miss Pavlova certainly did cast her eyes in that direction. I noticed it myself. And there has to be another reason why she won't open her case. It must be somewhere in the same area. That's where her gaze was involuntarily drawn. I agree. That's the only answer. Whatever she is hidden inside that case will be revealed by following her gaze in the direction of the bookshelf. Small picture, rules of passage. Oh, frick. These are the rules of passage for travel aboard the SS Beria. Passengers must not keep all other dangerous items inside their cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden. This was the exact same notice in our cabin, too. Wonder what happened if you break the rules. Oh dear, I'm sure that punishment would be severe, Naruhodo-san. Probably be left adrift in the freezing cold ocean. Or shut inside a tiny wardrobe for days on end. Though I've actually been serving time for weeks now, have I? That's it, though.
Yes!
Yes, the reason why you refused to open your case is written in the rules of passage. Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous items in their cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden. Inside that case of yours is something forbidden from carriage on this vessel. That is the real reason why you refused to open it, thus revealing its contents. Hi! As we've seen, the trunk wobbles from time to time, but no weapon or other dangerous item will move on its own accord. Which leaves but one possibility, Miss Pavlova, inside your traveling case. Is the last item listed forbidden in the vessel's rules of passage? A pet. Ah! I can't scream, my voice, it's dying, help. Wrongdoing, possession of a prohibited animal. Solved. Deduction complete. Elementary. So clearly you aren't who you said you were. No, I am not Crimson Royal. My real name is Nikolina Pavlova. Everything you said was correct.